In this chapter, we've got a description of our situation. What could be called a description of samsara, of our conditioned existence. And it's rather a bleak picture. We shouldn't make the error, though, that this is how things really are. The spiritual life is often described as crossing the ocean of samsara, or the sea of sorrows. These sorrows don't exist out there. The greatest obstacle to liberation, to spiritual liberation, is ourselves. When we look within, we don't usually find the bliss that is often described as the nature of our essential consciousness. No, what we find is pain, a very frightening emptiness. It's this pain which drives us on to try and fill it. It's this pain which drives us on to try and seek some kind of comfort, some kind of lasting comfort or satisfaction. So what we've got here in this bleak description should really be understood as the bleakness that arises from not being able to get beyond this very deep pain, existential pain even, which is at the heart of our psyche actually. It's at the heart of our psyches. It's possible to get beyond that. That is the positive message of spirituality. That consciousness is free from all that pain. So let's bear this in mind. We're not taking a jaundiced view of the world. What I suppose you could say is jaundiced is the way we get lost in notions and the hopes of fulfillment that we have in these notions. Vasishta continued, "They whom you regard here as radiant women, decked with pearls and other jewels, are but the creation of your own delusion. They are the ripples that arise in the ocean of lust. It is this delusion that sees attractiveness and seductive qualities in what is but a modification of flesh, fat, skin, etc., and even makes them appear charming, and it is on account of such delusion that their breasts are described as golden pots, and their lips as the source of nectar, etc." One assumes that perhaps the original Sanskrit seems a bit more poetic. So in this paragraph we've really got the description from the male point of view of the intense lust that's directed towards women. And this lust is not based on anything within women themselves. It's based on male notions about women. It's based on fetish. When we hear about lust, when we hear about craving, to really understand it, we've got to understand the power of fetish, which you might argue is even hardwired into us, like it is with animals. Animals operate according to fetish, especially in the bird kingdom. It might be a certain colour of feather which turns the male or female on. It's quite arbitrary really, but this is what we're subjected to. So there's only one paragraph here about fetish desire and lust-based desire, but it's a big subject and it could probably be explored at length. It certainly seems to be a major factor in our modern cultures. For example, breast fetishism, an inordinate amount of pleasure, of desire, seems to be attributed to these two mounds of flesh. It is an account of delusion that one seeks wealth and prosperity, which are sweet in the beginning to the dull-witted, which are the cause of the pairs of opposites, happiness and unhappiness, pleasure and pain, success and failure in the middle, and which come to an end very soon. From the pursuit of prosperity arise countless branches of pleasure and numberless branches of unhappiness. The delusion flows like a river from beginningless time, and it is muddied and darkened by useless actions and their reactions. It gives rise to repeated births, and it swells more and more on account of the bitter reactions or the consequences of actions calculated to bring pleasure or happiness. This is what we're caught up in all the time. Whether you believe in past lives or not, we are caught up in this wheel of looking for happiness, pleasure. Such actions are like an ill wind that raises a cloud of dust, whose particles are physical and mental illness, old age, and the various relationships. All these lead to death, or the passage of time, which has an insatiable and voracious appetite, and which consumes all the worlds when they are ripe, as it were.